Hello, it's Dania and welcome to my channel all about real estate, business and social media marketing. Today I'm going to be talking about the do's and the don'ts of starting a new job in real estate. So let's just jump straight into it. Number one, do ask for clarification no matter how dumb the question may be, because at the end of the day, you're brand new, you're not supposed to know anything with specific real estate questions. For example, I was being shown an apartment from our current listings and the agent showing me around was like, "Oh, I'm surprised the owner opted for split system aircon instead of ducted." I don't know the difference, even though that seems like such an obvious one. But I asked, they told me there's so many other examples of when the question to the general real estate person seems so obvious, but if you're new, you're not going to know that, so definitely ask. Number two, don't try and start your own real estate agency if you're not a real estate agent and you're only a real estate salesperson. At least for Queensland, these are the laws. So if you don't know the difference between the two, I'll put a card up there and you can go directly to the video where I've explained all of this. Number three, do prioritize your time into the area that you envision yourself being in a year or 2 years. For example, I really want to go into sales. I want to sell houses. I want to help people buy houses. Anything to do with sales, I'm your girl. So I wouldn't waste my time doing property management. While some may say it's good to get the experience of both, if you know what you want, I say don't waste any time and just go for it. Number four is pretty difficult to work on if you don't have it in you. Don't be shy. You can't be shy in real estate. You have to talk to people everywhere because you're a walking, talking marketing agency, let me tell you that. Whether you're in a lift and another person's in there, talk. Whether you're in the shops, in the waiting line, that seems really odd. I haven't done that one yet, but you're getting the message. I'm a pretty shy person, so I don't like talking to people. I will stay in my lane. I won't ever chat to someone sitting next to me. I'm not that type of person, so this one's a bit hard for me to crack. But for example, today I did a open house inspection. Nobody turned up, but then I went down, I stood next to my open house inspection board for 10 minutes, and I did see a guy walk by and just look at it for a second, but I was way too shy to approach him. I let that person go. 5 minutes passed, and when I was ready to take the open for inspection board away and put it back into my office, that same gentleman saw me carrying the board, came up to me and was like, "Oh, you're the real estate girl." And I was like, "Hello, yes I am." Got my sales tactics, got my sales voice on, and he ended up being a prospective buyer who's interested in X, Y, and Z and wants to move to Broadbeach. And so if I had taken that initiative and spoken to him in the first place, that would have looked a lot better. And if he hadn't approached me when I was carrying the board, I could have just missed a potential client. So don't be shy. Don't feel like I should be giving this advice because I'm very shy. But for the people who can work on it, and I'm trying to work on it, there you go. Number five is do act as a buyer's agent before you start selling your own houses. You get so much experience from it and you really learn how the sales process works. And being on the side of the buyer, I'm sure I will become a much better salesperson when I'm actually selling their houses. One of the biggest things that my business partner tells me is if you're trying to sell someone something, for example a house, be in their shoes and how they'd feel and act as a customer. So being the buyer's agent is going to help a lot when you decide to be a seller's agent. And conjuncting is so easy because you're not the one actually doing the marketing or the listings. So it's a really good stepping stone just to jump to the end and go to the inspections, etc. So it really does help you map out the process and what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. And at the end, you might even have them as a client to sell their house. So keep them in your books. Number six is don't be afraid to ask for help when you want it. I know that some people will say, no, like I want to figure out myself, I want to do it all, I want to research it before I ask for help, I don't want to bother anyone else, I don't want to trouble anyone else. But no, just ask straight away. Your tiny one question could be answered in a minute instead of you wasting time and researching it for 15 minutes and possibly getting the wrong answer or an illegal answer. So just ask for help. I say the more you ask for advice when you first start up, the quicker you'll become an expert. So you're just growing exponentially with your knowledge at this point. So keep asking for advice, and one day you'll be the expert and you won't need to ask for it anymore. Number 7 is do follow up. I've been doing real estate for only a few weeks now, and boy, I'm following up every single person and it is eating into my time. Like, for example, I had work 8:30 to 5 p.m. yesterday, went home and I was still working until 7:30, literally just following up clients, making calls because I had to make them that day. I had to follow them up. I had to make sure that everything was done that day. Which brings me to number 8, which is don't let the client control your timetable. Just like any other profession, whether it's a doctor, a physiotherapist, a tax consultant, I don't know, you have to book an appointment with a time that suits them and their appointment book. You're going to be an agent, you're going to be a salesperson, and in order to be respected in this industry and have people respect your time, you have to set boundaries. For example, I will never call a buyer back if they've contacted me after, say, 6 to 6:30 p.m. because that's after business hours and they can wait until 8:30 a.m. the next day. For example, I had someone text me at 10:30 if I could chat. Didn't reply until the morning because my time is valuable, and if I set boundaries from the start, I know that will be respected later down the line. So I'm setting that from the start, and you should too. That being said, number 9 is do be willing to do a lot of work after hours. I just mentioned this before, but you know, buyers are going to be calling you after 5 p.m. Some people work full time, 9 to 5, and they can't call you any other time. So you have to be willing to pick up the phone in that hour, or at least let them know that you're going to be calling back in that hour the day after. Always get back to clients within 24 hours, otherwise you're going to lose that listing. I try and do it a lot quicker than that, like 24 hours is the latest. But definitely be willing to work after hours unpaid. I work around anywhere between 2 to 7 hours of real estate every week unpaid, whether that's open inspections on the weekend, whether that's the follow-ups I do after hours. It's just part of the job, and if you're not willing to work for free, you're not in the right industry. Because with real estate, generally what happens is you leave the office, you start working solo, and the only money you're getting is from commission from the houses you're selling. So if that's not something that you want to do, because you could spend 2 months putting a listing up, doing everything, doing a ton of inspections, getting contracts, and at the end of the day, the seller could pull out, you don't get a buyer, and the listing goes stale. So you've got to be prepared to work for free a lot of the time, but with everything, you get experience, and that adds up, and you'll sell your next listing even faster, and that'll pay off. So it's a give and take, but if you're the type of person to work by the minute and by the hour and you need to see that money coming in, it's not for you. I just meshed the last one in, which was don't say no to opportunities if you aren't getting paid. I just spoke about that, but the example from today works perfectly with that. I went to the open house inspection, and same with tomorrow, I'm going to another one. Not getting paid or anything, but I know that it might open a opportunity or a door to me. And today I met a client, my first sales client that I've actually introduced to the agency. So that's exciting. So you never know when an opportunity knocks. You never know who you'll meet. So take all these tips on board, the do's and the don'ts, because they're very fresh considering I just started my job. But apart from that, I hope you guys enjoyed these 10 do's and don'ts of starting a new job in real estate. And if you did, please press the like button because it helps the YouTube algorithm a lot, especially since I'm a very small channel. If you're into real estate, business, or social media marketing, make sure to subscribe, and I will make sure to see you in my next video. Have a good one.